Welcome back to HGC Korea. We're back with match number 2, Ballistix versus GLuck. The first one was a little bit quicker than I expected tonight.
I thought I was not being too optimistic to hope for more than a 3-0. And unfortunately, my hope was not rewarded. I'm going to be a pessimist from now on, predict nothing but 3-0s in every game I cast for every match.
What if it doesn't come out to be 3-0?
Well, then I'll have to change my opinion again.
You can just change your clothing in the break time.
Well, that's true. I've got lots of practice after our last break.
He's got the best pants. You will never get to see him.
That's true. Unfortunately, we don't get to stand up on this broadcast. So, I mean, sometimes. when you feel like it.
I always wear pants or shorts.
Ah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, you're doing it wrong.
Let's keep it rated HGC, okay?
That's true.
I don't know where that is. Too high, too low?
I was going to say, where is HGC? I'll have to get to the ESRB to see if they are okay with that.
We're all good. Having the second match, I think the first one, Blossom having a little bit of gap, not really breaking into the top 3.
They were close.
No, not too close. They were still...
Sometimes.
Let's say if Gen.G, Ballistix, Tempest, if they are up all the way in the high mountains, Blossom was at the hill level, so they can't really climb up to the mountain yet.
Right, they're not in the Marianas Trench of HGC that maybe some of our other teams are, but they are. Yeah, they're getting up there. They're climbing one step higher. Maybe if one day Ballistix, Tempest, and Gen.G all get stuck in an elevator somewhere.
VSL, yes.
Yeah, that's true. Been there, done that. Then maybe Blossom can truly show up as the best team that can be there to play. But until that day, maybe they'll have to try a little bit harder. But that's enough about our previous series. We can kind of pack that one away and move on to our upcoming series, which should look
remember
less
Gen.G versus Felice?
I do.
Yesterday night?
I try to forget it every day.
Why don't we turn on a repeat? No.
I don't want
to go all the way there. That's pretty far, but GLuck,
yeah.
It seems like they're still stuck on the same place where Felice is actually in a similar place back in the MSD drafts, playing similar style. When Ballistix, they were in a struggle first few weeks, and then they just leveled up. They upgraded themselves to be a better team.
So speaking of upgrading themselves to be a better team, that is still something that Ballistix need to do. They are still in the top 3, and I think they do deserve to be there, but they are struggling, especially when it compares to how flawless teams like Gen.G and Tempest are looking. So this is a look at their lineup. It's still the same, no crazy surprises, but they will need to keep improving if they have any hopes of reclaiming their championship status. That's somewhere all of these players have been before. Can they return back to it? And it happens one game at a time, and it realistically is probably going to happen today.
Yeah, I think we'll get a few more factors in, as we're talking about mountains.
Okay.
But in fact, Gen.G and Tempest, they're above the cloud level.
Well, that is
true. So they're
true.
Pretty high up there. But Ballistix, I think they're currently getting to that cloud level.
That's
and
right.
A little bit below them right now. So.
If you've ever seen those expanding brain memes where it's like one thing and it's a tiny brain, then it gets up to this like universe encompassing brain at the end, that's where Gen.G are. But for GLuck, they are maybe up towards the earlier parts of that progression. They still have a long way to go, and by a long way to go, I mean all the way to go. They are 06 so far, and will need a lot of improvement to avoid the Crucible.
And news for GLuck, bad news. Mysen is gone due to some Korean military reasons, I would say.
Unfortunate issues.
Yeah, unfortunate issues that you can't really, you just have to go. Like the country calls, you just have to go. There's no crazy things happening in between South and North Korea right now, but military stuff, you just have to go sometimes, and he will be excused. So we do have a different player. It's called Hodu. He's very well known in the Korean Hero League scene as a tank player, but he's actually filling in for a DPS role from what I know today. So let's see how well he plays here.
This might be another kind of Gondar situation where Honkono comes in and it's like, okay, well, I can play this other role while you fulfill the, your calling. I would say tank and DPS are probably about as far away as you can get, but I mean, we'll see how well it works out. Either way, it's always fun to get a chance to see new players come through, especially in sort of the trying times, because things are always darkest before they get any darker. GLuck.
Until you go see hell. I think that's the bottom. But before that actually happens, you can always see the light. You can crawl up there and start climbing. It is his first time, so we got some helping hands.
Yeah, just like Twitch chat was super nice to me when it was my first time casting HGC.
Yeah,
you guys also need to be super nice to Hodu. Maybe make some holding the door kind of memes, and you can tweet at him even before he makes his Twitter account. Then when he makes @GLHodu, he'll log in and see that everybody was already there. I don't know. Send this guy some love, because you gotta feel like what it's like to be in his situation. You're on a team that has yet to win a game. You are on a team that had a surprise emergency and needed a player. So you're just showing up, and it's like, it's the best you can do, right?
Guys, just show your love for Hodu and Rapid. That's always possible. Look at that.
I have done more than one HGC broadcast at this point. Whether or not that's a good thing, we'll figure it out as we go. But heading out on the battlefield of eternity once again. We thought we left, but it is an eternal map, and so we go right back onto it.
We continue on to the match number 2. Hodu actually played in the old Super League, the early 2016, back in Yongsan days.
Wow.
Very, very old Super League Season 2, I'm talking about, I think. I think I'm right on that.
Gone but not forgotten.
He actually played with in a team with O-Prime, and back then he was one of the better ones. Before Honkono and Dami, they were all very newbies in the scene. And Hodu was actually one of the experienced one.
Wow.
He played with O-Prime, they try out for qualifiers a few of the times, and they actually made it, but didn't end up actually playing in the Super League due to some of the teammate reasons. But he's back in here, so he does have some stage experience, is what I'm saying.
So he's got stage experience, but does he have meta experience? We all know that he's, well, I say we all know, but he may be able to perform well outside of this environment, but it has been a while since he's been here again, and so I don't know what to expect. Obviously, it's going to throw a real wrench in anything that the team was practicing long term. So we should still see pick and bans look pretty similar. Malfury and Genji, no big surprises there. But for GLuck, they will need every little shred of an advantage that they can get.
It's a standard one, but without the Leeming, it is the Kerosene Phoenix for GLuck. Actually have an okay win rate, but now it comes. Irel has been the most problem. Let's see how Blossom was basically having no answer against Irel, just diving into the back line, so Merryday, the support, or the backline DPS was always harassed. Let's see how GLuck deals with this. I think we may actually have a meta coming back because of Irel having some percent damage and Constant just backing up, saving the damage, and make sure when they go, they actually have half of the HP down on Irel, and then start pushing, like bring in some Tychus or some extra DPS that we haven't really seen too much before.
No, we have gotten a chance to see Tychus sporadically, but I do agree, yeah, percent damage might be coming back just because you're starting to get some real beefcakes out there that are very, very difficult to take down. So
yeah, it's coming soon. And
I mean, once Raynor gets here, I mean, that's really all the damage you need, but unfortunately he's coming along with 3 bans per team, so his biggest counter. What's the next ban here for Ballistix? Is there like a target ban that they need to ban versus Hodu? I'm guessing they don't know exactly what his purpose is.
An easy one is ETC. Not ETC. I'm talking about Leeming. That could counter the mosh pit and does have some massive poke in this map. They already have Hanzo, though, so maybe they don't think they need it. See a little bit more of what they prioritize. Maybe they want to focus on tank since they already took ETC. Johanna, Garrosh, anyone that's going to save their backline because Irel will be diving.
I think that's a pretty safe guess. Yeah, and it is a Leeming, so not really a huge surprise with the ETC, but not a ban that we're used to. It does change things up maybe a little bit, leave quite a bit open. So what is open? I mean, we've got both Shimada Brothers taken out of the picture. I mean, let's see, we've already got Phoenix, Urel. I'm going down my list of like most popular.
But what is the ones that are missing that has never really been shown in HGC Korea that can actually counter somewhat of Urel with the solo lane? It is very tough, but I'm thinking in a way, I'm looking for range, maybe like a Zagara, but not on this map.
I mean, we did hear in our interview that perhaps there is a hard counter to Urel that is very unorthodox. The hint was that it might be a specialist. I don't know which one it would be, but we'll see if they can find it. They're not going to reach too far for it. Just go for the solid pick. Blaze, not too big a surprise, just to hold his own in the one-on-one.
Seems like they actually finish out with the mage. Without the Leeming, still can just have a Jaina. Even a Kel'Thas. Because since there's the bunker, and Phoenix can just warp out fine. Carries him as stashes, so I don't really see a big reason.
When was the last time we saw Kel'Thas in HGC Korea? Not this split. Or phase.
I think phase 1. Phase 1. A few of the teams playing in shrines. I think that was about it. Less than 3, I think, in total.
Less than 3. What about, yeah, greater than 3?
Back in last year, I think a little bit more. Even few in Dragonshire. But it's very few. Very few Kel'Thas.
Waiting until the last second for their picks.
Oh, we do have support left. And oh, Dagger Kane. It steals away the Jaina. Okay.
Ooh.
A good read by Ballistix. It was basically going to be Jaina or Kel'Thas, very likely something like that, or maybe even Kel'Thuzad if you really want to combo that Hanzo back line.
I mean, I guess so. It's been a while since I've seen that one too.
Well, our camera is on Hodu. I think we're looking for his hero here, the final one. We could just have a crazy one that we rarely ever see.
I mean, honestly, that's what you got to go for is GLuck. Something crazy out of the meta. I don't think it is realistic to expect them to play a standard game and win through macro, right? That's a little bit off the table. But they have a new player, an unidentified commodity, and he will be going with Alarak.
Alarak, we did see a few times, even back in MSB. Mostly Rich playing Alarak, but on this map only because you can pair up Telekinesis with the boss, with the Immortal Stun, and can pair up pretty well along with few of the CC as well. So Alarak coming in super hot for GLuck, and actually looking at the team comp, it's actually not too bad. Another way of peeling. Oh, we zoomed in way too much on that B.
That is a big B.
But continuing my point there, Telekinesis by not as an offensive tool, but mostly for a defensive tool. Of course, you do want to connect it with the silence and create your opportunity to win the team fight. But I think it's also possible to just push out and peel for your teammates. As a defensive way, from what I know, Hood is a very passive player. So maybe it could be worked in that way as a tool for them.
See the
you still do have Myson, but
yeah, unfortunately that is not actually Myson, that is Hodu.
Oh, does that actually mean he will play tank?
I think it does.
Okay, he's going to play the comfort pick. Tank, and Rockstar is on that Alarak. Okay. Writing that down now.
Yeah, this is really going to throw off our stats and overlays for a while. But I think at the end of the day, it's still cool to see Alarak out here. It's cool to see Hodu, a new commodity here for GLuck, because it has been a struggle for them. They have managed to pick up map wins here and there, but it just has not looked that great overall. And especially not against Ballistix. They're one of the strongest teams, and they deserve to be there. So we'll see how well GLuck can do. I mean, really, to some extent, the only direction they can go is up, right?
Yes. And of course, there's that 8th place spot, but you don't want to go there for sure, as Felice is waiting down there. But I think Hodu playing Garrosh as a warm-up here on this first time VSL studio. Because Garrosh is a lot more forgiving compared to the other tanks, I would say. And you can also have a great save by Into the Fray, having some Wrecking Ball play where you can actually make the play yourself Garrosh is actually a pretty good pick for you to feel comfortable on the stage first.
And it's entirely possible he might swap roles later on after kind of, you know, getting into the groove, but I guess that would be a little bit unlikely. So it'll be cool to see. I mean, I'm always open to the possibility that, you know, changing something up is going to change for the better for GLuck. Because like I said, it would be kind of hard to change for the worse, although it will be difficult to play with a new player.
It's a weird one.
Almost Hooligan getting taken out there, just barely surviving. Not going according to plan, but I'm guessing that was some of Roxor's doing.
Yeah, against ETC, Garrosh actually counters pretty well. And okay, not going for the extended quest, but sustaining power, which is very rarely seen at level 1. Because I guess he needs extra amount of healing because they do have Karazim. Maybe he's just concerned about that.
Well, in general, I think usually I see him be more concerned with, you know, dealing lots of damage and killing people. But hey, you gotta keep yourself alive to do that. So
I think it's gonna be a Q build. I'm guessing it's gonna be a Q build because of that. Sustaining and just Chaos at 4, and then just having Discord base. I think that's the way Roxor wants to build this Alarak.
Be a little bit different. Now let's take a look up at that solo lane, because it does appear as if Asgard is having some struggles. Be lying if I said that was a unique situation, because Urel is quite strong. But what's the reaction going to be? Is he just gonna he's calling for help, and his team's just gonna be like, well, you know, do better?
We'll see a little bit more as I think it's lots of pressure for Hooligan as well against the Garrosh. I think they were expecting that pick, maybe, because they had an information, because they do have to notice PSL before the day before what the roster is going to be. Unless I'm totally wrong with the rule book, how I remember it.
Maybe everything is very different.
And both teams actually know the active roster on the day.
I'm going to trust you, GLuck. You wouldn't go on the internet and tell lies.
Yeah, dude. Do trust me, because I only read the rule book in 2 different languages several times.
Oh, okay. Well, also
and they happen to be the same.
That might be a.
Oh, look at that face melt! Just destroys that Garrosh. Has that Indomitable. It's going to be safe, but he's going to be very low.
Oh, Hodu, the first casualty of his first game back on GLuck. It's not a great way to start, but it is for Ballistix, right? I mean, they find the perfect. I've never seen quite that that level of face melting.
Yeah, Hooligan says, "Welcome to HGC, boy."
What a welcome committee.
And that was death. That was a painful death. That's going to be a start for Ballistix for sure.
Yeah, hopefully not indicative of the way that the series continues for GLuck. Would like to see some signs of life from them later on. They're going to get right back on the defense. They do actually put a lot of damage on the Hooligan. He's going to power slide right back out. No harm, no foul. The damage is stacking up, though, on the Immortals. So maybe GLuck can turn this around. They're trying to, once again, deal damage to Urel.
Another potion? Urel's safe.
I'm pretty sure she healed through that entire engage. I mean, yeah, potions, but like...
And they do have Hanzo, so they don't really have to force themselves to go in. SD is actually quite close to the engage because they do have the safe tools from Magi.
GLuck are really split up right now. They tried to do a little bit of both things, like damaging the Immortals and trying to stop damage on the other one, and I think they fail at both of those. So a pretty great situation for Ballistix to be in. They're about to have a level advantage too.
Yeah, that was a great one as they're starting to, I think, mash together a little bit more. They did lose the Immortal, but they didn't really lose anyone else. Telekinesis with Roxor. Just keeping ETC out of there, making sure he doesn't really have the ankle to power slide. Great root pair up with the Blizzard. That's going to provide lots of damage, but I think Shield Overlord going to be out for 5 or more seconds, getting them some shield down. But Jungha diving, flanking from the side, catches 2. Hooligan dives in and base melts, and that's going to be 2 kills.
Hodu down there as well. Jungha not stopping just yet. A beautiful flank coming through there. And actually, even almost a collateral kill onto Overlord there. He's going to have to Hearthstone back home.
when they're focused so much on what they want to do, you have to widen your vision sometimes. I think. Still just looking for one. This Immortal's actually onto the keep wall, destroys the entire keep wall.
Okay, well, it's rare that you see an Immortal be quite that powerful this early on. First Immortal, you know, maybe, you know, hurts the fort a little bit. No, he's almost killing Keith. So already the game feels like it is accelerating at a breakneck pace away from GLuck, out of their control. And I think it would take a miracle for them to have a controlling situation over Ballistix. I mean, I have to entertain everything in the realm of possibilities, right?
Yeah,
maybe,
just wait.
Maybe not everything.
Yeah, just wait. Ballistix, they are. It is still a bad trade. Even if Jungha dies here.
Oh, come on, Jungha.
And
give
he'll
him
survive
a chance.
because he can just insta-D with his trade, and they are losing the keep. But they can't really stop this because they're only level 8. Ballistix already having all the heroic together. They do have massive Stay a While Innocent plus the Ring of Frost combo. So if you well, go ahead and try. You can try contesting, but you will lose the keep and even more with the kills. So GLuck, they just ended up just not even getting the fort because...
Stop it, Jungha! This is a no-bully zone! Overlord, not having a good time at the hands of Jungha down there. I'm trying to make this about as safe as it can be, but Jungha is not having any of it. See if we can change his mind by the end of the broadcast.
Well, Irel pretty strong, as you can see. Can sustain against the 5-man.
Okay, 2-level leads are pretty strong. A heroic advantage is pretty strong. Let's put it that way.
Oh, that too, and okay, he did have a pretty nice defender. At a pretty cool time, absorbing some of that. And look at that, Hanzo holding in. We're going to have another Dragon Strike kill.
I believe. It's second Immortal phase right now, and I don't think this one is going to go a whole lot better. GLuck, they tried a couple of different ways of handling the first one together, splitting up, trying to save their own Immortal and deal damage to the other one. None of it really worked. And Hodu, I think it's a little bit too early to tell exactly what, the level of his contribution here, but it hasn't been working out super great for him early on.
Okay, it is Arrow. Counter-Strike. Oh, no Counter-Strike. No one damages Alarak, but that's gone. With the salvo, Stay a While Lesson with the Mosh Pit chained up with the Ring of Frost right on top. Garrosh gone. They do have a 4-man, but Eskar super low, has to escape. And Phoenix actually goes into the bunker because he's so low. One more kill.
And down they go. Maybe a little bit of an overkill on the 7-sided, but you got to get the kills that present themselves to you. So, kill is a kill. Where
are you going, KSP? Or KCP?
It's back home.
Where's Asgard going? I mean, this...
I'm so confused.
I'm confused.
Yeah, this is...
Like, he's red, right? That's blue side.
I mean, I see this happen in my games all the time, but this isn't, you know, Hero League or Quick Match. Although, you know, maybe it might look like that sometimes more than others. Alarak, sick kill on Irel. Jungha overextending maybe just a tad.
Hodu catching. Nicely done, but you still have the favor. This Mortal still has the shield, so doing range damage. Hodu might have went a little too deep.
Or did he? How many sides on the strike do you need?
Look
the
at
answer
that.
is one more.
Go to sleep, guys. And Savo stops in the middle because of that parcel, and he goes into bunker.
And as soon as bunker expires, Overlord might go down. He has no shield, so I don't know if I'd go too aggressive, but wow, Decker Kane really saving the end of that fight for Ballistix. Decker would make a great caster. You could just type Resident Sleeper and it wouldn't even be offensive. It's like literally what he does.
The keep survives, but that's going down in half of the wave. Maybe just a few minutes.
We'll also keep in mind, we had a pre-10-minute game week 1, and I mean, this isn't too far past 10 minutes, and we're already, I mean, they're just going to take down another keep with Hanzo.
That's quite painful. Focusing on to Hodu once again. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at the salvo. I mean, it's going to be pretty insane, but even when you combo it with 7-sided, it's nothing. Even scratches Ballistix here. They stay alive through everything. Okay, almost everything. Caster Curse gets at least 1 kill. Jaina falls, but everyone from GLuck is probably going to have a pretty bad time here. Overlord maybe renaming to Underlord after this.
Yeah, Jungha just staying alive. They can't really deal with Irel. It's super hard against it. Showing what she can actually do, flanking from side, surviving against 5 man. She's pretty strong. And we do have a very top team from Korea going against the bottom one. Looks like they may actually stop with the 50% here as they're buying time.
Stay a while, a little bit less effective there.
With the arrow plus the damage from Hanzo. Gets to kill himself.
Very worthwhile, but in the end, the core does fall, and it is Ballistix to take a very dominant game 1.
That is what we have, and they will continue to strive like this. Not really show too much of anything new. Up against a new one, I don't think he was in super bad positioning, but with a new member in, you just can't really have a synergized team all of a sudden. He's a new one for sure.
That's true, and you could see that there were some growing pains there. If you look at his stats, not all that impressive, but I mean, he did get a comfort pick, so I'm not sure what the adjustment is that they need to be made, right? I mean, this is already a team that has shown a lot of signs of weaknesses. They did have, I mean, moments of success, but realistically, it was never in a very impactful way. So for Ballistix, kind of more of the same, an upper team versus a lower team, and we might be seeing another one of our 3-0s if GLuck can't pull off the miracle turnaround.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it's going to be more than a miracle for them to actually take a game off of Ballistix today.
What is more than a miracle?
More than a miracle?
I know what more than a feeling is, but I don't know about more than a miracle. Like an ultra super mega chocolate coated miracle.
No, like a unicorn level.
Ah.
Of reality. That's what I'm talking about. Which
okay,
is not coming.
GLuck.
Which is not coming into HGC soon enough. Maybe they need like 20 bans. For
I mean that's what, two more weeks until 20 bans. I mean next week we already get 6. So
next week we have 6, and we'll have a lot more interesting heroes and drafting style. I don't know exactly how it's actually going to turn out because we have never seen the competitive scene yet.
I've never seen the competitive scene yet either.
And with the 6th ban, I think we'll have we may actually have a bigger gap, but we could actually have some of the strategy just sniping, just having a support and a tank, maybe sniping all 3 with the tank support and try to focus down on the player, make it that could create some chances for the weaker team, or it may just be because of the hero pools, the strong team just dominating even more because of all those reasons. There are a few factors. I think it gives another chance for the weaker team as well. So we'll see next week what happens with 6 bans.